almost hit my damn head. What's up, everybody? How we doing this evening? What's up? We got Belle. What's up, Belle? Hey, little one. How we feeling? What's up? Hey, Belle. How we feeling? Are you feeling better? Cool plays. What's up, love? How you doing? Something. Hey, hola. What's up, Alejandra? How you doing, girl? A little bit better? All right. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Hopefully tomorrow you'll be just a little bit better, if more than today, or fully better. If not, at least a little bit better today. That made sense. Hope that made sense. Yeah. Sleepy. Well, that's right. Why are you waking up so early? You keep doing that. Waking up, you can't be doing that. Hey, love, what's happening? Alright, so that we can see that. Almost okay. Listen, you're a grown adult. I'm not gonna tell you to not come, because I love when y'all come hang out with me, but like it just don't overdo it, you know what I'm saying? So how is let's see. I got things moved around right now. I gotta figure everything out. We're still waiting for everybody get here. Oh man. All right, there we go. Things are starting to get going now. Hey, welcome, Carissa. What's up, girl? Okay, we got the game there. That's what I'm missing. I'm missing my buttons. That's where that's missing. All right, there we go. There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. What's up, girl? All right, what's up, Carissa? All right, now we're set up. And we've got a little surprise. Let's work on one of the buttons, so it's a little bit better. I don't want to listen to that song. Do you like this song? Do you want to listen to this song? No way. Uh-oh. Wait, did that just happen? Oh, it did happen. Guess what? There's not many of you that are here, but guess what? Dodgers hit a home run. Don't you be booing my Dodgers now. Don't you be booing my Dodgers now. I got a whole group of voices. I'm working on them. The Braves are an okay team. Y'all are pretty okay. We'll probably see y'all in the playoffs. I'll give you that much. I think yeah, y'all doing pretty good this year. Last I checked. Yeah. Where you? Yeah. Hey, Pixie, what's up? I believe y'all are doing. Yeah, I believe y'all's record's pretty good right now. I'm a Dodger fan only during lives. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. I can't stay all night. Tonight has been... Oh, wait a second. That's back-to-back home runs. Oh, son of a gun! These are right behind, I think the Padres are like a game too, so all right, let's go. We're not gonna get to read. We lost. Hey, I think we lost last night. We lost yesterday. So, hey. Oh man, the back. I had to do so much. I got so much done, but like felt like I did nothing, but got so much done at the same time. Freaking registered a vehicle. I got the yard mowed right before it started raining. That was cool. I didn't think I was going to get it done. And I still got to read, so I was pretty excited about today. All right. And Liz made an upgrade. She did get something upgraded. So 5-1 last week, 8-2. Okay, yeah. Hey, y'all are cooking, brother. Y'all are cooking. Y'all are cooking. Y'all are cooking. This song is not. I'm not feeling this one today. I don't know why. Ooh, can't do that one. We'll hit something up really quick. But anyway, oh man, excuse me. Hey Q, what's up? Your rotation's held together with duct tape. Right, that's about usually how it is. See, it's the beginning of the season, so I don't look at anything right now about. I mean, I pay attention, but. Some people still warming up. Some people still broke. We got what? Edwin Diaz. He's about to have surgery for, I said loose parts or something. I don't even know what that means. But anyway, yeah. So we'll figure it out. Baseball's a long season. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Carissa says, I just hope the Royals don't suck this year. The Royals, I tell you what, the Royals have one of the nicest looking stadiums. They just, they don't put any money. Oh, I watch all 162 too. Trust me, they're on right now. Like, I got them on right now. They're on my phone. I got the app on my phone, every TV. I watch them, but I understand. Again, it's a 162 game season. I've watched the Dodgers lose a fucking 15 game lead. And had to go in as a wild card before. So, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, here we go. Let's see what happens. They're trying to move the stadium downtown. Really? That sucks. That sucks. Kansas City's they're having aren't y'all trying to move y'all's football? Are you talking about the football stadium, or are they doing a baseball and a football stadium? Because I know the Chiefs are talking about moving the stadium to the other side or something. I don't know. Nothing matters. So yeah, exactly. I really start to pay attention and worry right around the All-Star break. Then I really start to focus on, okay, how's our pitching staff doing? Where do we need to go? Like now I'm watching, seeing who's going, but understand, hey, bring the rookies up. Let them try. Let's see what's happening. Guys get hot. I mean, we don't have Mookie Betts right now either, so. Arrowhead is moving to Kansas. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It's too cold up there to play sports, honestly. Dodgers are playing Colorado right now. And it was a Friday night. They were freaking plowing snow off the field. Like, what the hell is happening? But anyway, all right. Digressing. So, let's get off of the sports really quick. P. Oh, my Lord, P. What was with that craziness you went to? I have been seeing the tiki-talkies all day long. Nothing but long-ass lines and craziness. What's up? Long lines. I heard they called it Line Con, not Book Con. Oof, it was wild, but it was fun. Oh, I'm glad you had fun. That's awesome. That's on. All right, here. Let me turn the music down now. That one's less I gotta freaking edit out later on. All right. Okay, I got to get my book ready. We got to figure out who's on who was on buttons last. I think DW did buttons, if I'm not mistaken. And my friend's broken ankle came in clutch with the AD. That's legit. That's legit. That's legit. That's funny. Hey, that's why you need me. That's why you need me everywhere. I got all my ADA stuff. I remember one year we went to freaking Liz's mom and everybody. It was the summer, I think, and they came for a visit. Excuse me, went to SeaWorld. I think it was SeaWorld. Yeah. And then we started going and we pull in. And as we're driving into the parking lot, all the cars are going this way. And her mom's like, why are we going this way? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, why are you going over here? I'm like, we're going to go park. She's like, but all the other cars, I'm like, yeah, we're good. And then, all right, brother. Hey, I appreciate you, Red. Appreciate you. And then we end up pulling up to the front, and she's like, "Why are we in the front row?" I'm like, "I have a handicap parking placard. You realize I have a surgically repaired back, woman? Like, we'd be walking out there. No way I'm going to be able to walk out of here by the end of the day. Get bent." And she's like, "Oh, my God, that's so cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is pretty cool. Having a broke back, that's cool." It's pretty fun, though. Anyway, all right. I got to find my last page. I think DW, you did buttons on last Wednesday, right? I want to make sure. I got so many pages here of fights. Okay, those were, hang on. VIP sold out. We stopped by general admission. Oh, that's cool. Hey, are they? All right. I don't remember which one. All right, I'm looking. All right. Yep. All right. Does anybody want to correct me? Ah! I didn't get pushed. I may have pushed people wheelchair. No one for. Wow. Okay, that was Brittany. That's funny, P. P's funny, y'all. P's a trip. P's a trip, y'all. P's a make way. I can see it. Ooh, nice. I like that. Happy Holidays, King.
Are you catching my drift?
Happy Holidays. What? I mean, the Lion King. What do you?
No, it's what day is it?
Oh, got you. Yeah. It's sorry. I got you. Okay, listen. Everybody says happy. That is we call that Tuesday for me, kid. Think about it.
But it's a special.
It's a special Monday. Okay. I love it. No, you're right. I understand what you're saying. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. But again, remember, we just call that Monday for people like me. But that's why she's all disappointed in me. I'm sorry. She's disappointed in me. She was coming out to wish me a happy holiday, and I'm like, think about it. Just think about it. But anyway, okay. I got to figure out who's on buttons tonight so we can get started. She said part to C's. I said, "Excuse me," very loud. I bet you were like, "Excuse me, out of the way, excuse me, pardon me." Yeah, here he is. We were at 141. Yes. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. I'm so confused. Start putting y'all on the wheel for the buttons. That works though until freaking there's more than like 12 unless somebody got a digital wheel really quick. Like, who's gonna be here? I'll do a rando. Like, I can do a quick random. That's easy. But I need to know who's gonna stay here. That's the problem. We have so many people still leaving because I haven't done the story. All right, so who wants to be eligible for button duty? Right? Exactly, Pun. That's funny. That would be crazy though if somebody. Carissa, she says, yeah, she's gonna bow out. Exactly, because she's got to bounce. The dry race board still has. I'll take the buttons, but I can't guarantee I won't fall asleep. P's like, I'm so tired. It should be a quick night though. It's unless we go full time. If we stop at 5 chapters, it'll be a quick night. So is there anybody that wants to go ahead and volunteer? Ah, I see. Whimsy. We're all about the whimsy. You're all about the whimsy. That is, if it's not whimsy, she's not. She's like, I don't give a shit. No, make it whimsy. I love you. You're funny. All right. So, a P says, what's up? Oh, Socks like, I'm coming. That's what she said. All right. P said she's gonna do it. I'm gonna be honest. I just want to see the wheel spin. That's funny. All right, here. I just want to see what for.
Maybe.
Oh God.
Maybe. Oh, here we go.
She's got bright ideas by the door, y'all. Hang on.
Maybe.
Whimsy should be the name of the next cat. The next cat's name is actually going to be Abraxas. It's going to be a black Maine Coon.
Oh.
He's got to figure it out.
We have enough cats.
Yeah, when the time comes. Yes, I know that. Anyway, hello, love. Okay, your idea, cat butt.
The wheel.
Yes.
We write things on the wheel that you have to do. And then at certain milestones, or they get a button, and maybe at some points they get a wheel spin, and then maybe somebody has to do something silly. Like
Y'all don't hear this, do y'all, right? Y'all don't. Hey, baby girl. Y'all don't hear this, right? Y'all don't hear what she's saying. She's too far away from the mic, right? Tell me y'all don't hear this.
like a dance, or strike a pose, or...
Well, okay. You can't hear? No, you cannot. Damn it, they can hear you, son of a... Okay, can we stop with the cat butt? Like, for real.
That could be funny.
We
What should
can't.
we put on there? What should the options be?
Well, I guess here, grab the wheel. I get you. I mean, I'm saying if you want to, you can. I hear some, not all. You can grab the wheel and talk to them in chat, and I guess bring it out because, I will do. Okay, Pixie's gonna do buttons. We got that. She's gonna put a few other options on there for other things that we'll come up with, but also, we're going to throw an incentive in there as well for new records, okay? So if we break the record, which the current record is at 151, okay? We're at 100 with the cat butt. Yep, still at 151. Okay, cat butt. If you break the 151, not only will the next stream, next live, will you get a button, okay? But whoever is in charge of the buttons that night will get to pick any song, and I will have to dance to it live on stream. Does it? It does kind of make a little clickety click noise.
What do we do again?
There you go. I don't know if y'all can hear the clickety clicks, but there you go. So yes, it does clickety click. Well, bring it back to dancing day. I mean, listen, it depends on what song you pick, okay? But I believe it was it Bobby? Was it Bobby? I believe was it Bobby? Who sent the one who had the idea about the dancing video? Yeah, so Bobby had an idea of like every time y'all hit 100K, it was to do one of these one of the crazy TikTok trend dances, and I was gonna learn it. So girlfriend, okay, we're down. But I couldn't figure out which one to learn, and some of them look crazy. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna let whoever, when they break the record, I'll let them pick a song, and then we're gonna free ball it. Not free ball it. Free.
Can they read that? Do I need to double?
I can read it in the camera. I mean, I can see it says dance, but yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. So that gives you. Oh, and we're back. That gives That gives you a little bit more incentive to hit the like button and push the likes up. All right. We're going to get started here. We got Pixie. Is hang on. Is Vega here? Vegs is not here yet. How did you and Vegs do in No Man's Sky really quick? Girlfriend. The ass is all over the place. Awesome. Hell yeah. Good stuff. Until your ships got clipped together, right? Okay, so Monday stream. Monday is Pixie. is in charge of the buttons. All right. She got past. Oh, nice. Okay. Would you quit playing, girlfriend? Why you be doing? All right. Anywho. All right. So we are already. Where did I move my little things? All right. You get. Excuse me. I already did the one. You get 2 buttons, and then we're gonna get started. Yes, 14 buttons. That is correct. 14 buttons with 2 chode buttons. The chodes will cause you to shuffle it up again.
What do you want on the wheel?
We'll do every what?
Any requests? Or do we have
She says 1 and 7, and then
and then we have to maybe we add a new one.
what is it? Rune Dan. Oh, there you go. All right, so here's the 1.
Rune Danon, Crown Prince of the Valbaran Vale.
2. Let's see. Read Shakespeare or funny voice.
Oh, I like that.
Okay. 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 And 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Read like Shakespeare in a funny voice. That's wild. All right, you got one more. You got one. Ow, girlfriend. You cannot buy me like that, baby girl. You cannot buy me like that. You got one more button, and then we get started. You're about to get put down. You're about to put down. Oh, that was Carrie. Which one's Carrie? I don't know who Carrie is. We haven't met Carrie yet. So if he's on a button picture, that's just somebody who was 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How about a pop-up live out in the car? Just while I'm out in the world one day, I'm alive. That would be so wild. What the hell? A real world live. Wise in the wild. There you go. You put that on there. You can put that on there if they get that. That'll be a like one day that week. One day that week I'll have to do just a random wise in the wild. Like I'll do it from the school pickup line or something. Like, what's up, everybody? We're in the school pickup line reading and shit. It'll be funny. I should have, if I was doing, when I was doing TikTok, I should have been doing TikTok live when I sat in the school line in that freaking tornado that one day. That'd have been cool. That'd have been cool. All right. So she's adding it to the list. She's adding it to the list. All right. Excuse me. So that just gives you a little bit more incentives. Let's say they're in a wheel spin every what, 75K? I'm just saying. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think is fair? What do we think is fair? Improv singing. Be then 150 because then it'd be a new button and you see what I'm saying? I mean, I gotta, you know what I mean? Oh man, that'd be funny though.
Maybe at 50K they get to write something.
At 50, okay. I'll tell you what. How many spaces are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At every 15K, they can come up with one and add another. Okay.
The council of the wheel.
Yeah. At every 15K, are we having technical difficulty? I don't think we are. It might be you, but I know Friday when we were watching Rob's, like he had some difficulty. We were all watching too, and then it jacked up for a minute, so I'm not sure. Okay, so every 15K, you can add something to the wheel. And then if we get to 50K, then we first taste in one more. And then 75, right? I think y'all can do it. I think y'all can get to 75. Y'all will be 75. That's funny. Y'all are saying, did something just mess up? And the uncles are talking about a hockey game. Something about this freaking sound just messed up there too. It's the aliens. They're coming to get us all. All right. What is that? What does that say? Oh, funny voice. All right. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So they're pretty short. Oh, they are pretty short chapters. They are short chapters. Okay. I will give you that, Pete. There's only like 30 pages tonight. Dance in slow motion. I mean, listen, if it gets dance, it's whatever song you pick. I'm just going to do a free-form dance. Is that what they're called? Like free-form artisanal dance.
Freestyle?
Yeah, freestyle, whatever it is. So we'll figure it out. She's tatawing for now. All right, we'll see how it goes.
If you need an addition, I might send KK out if I have clay on my hands.
Okay, she's working on the chair. She's got this up, so she'll be watching. Yeah, she's listening and watching, so y'all can continue to discuss wheel additions for when you are there. Head of HR has been informed. Okay, HR. Is HR going to tell me of the secret project? Like, what the heck, y'all? I know. Wait, you're stalling me again. See, you're already stalling me. You're at 20K. Another button. You got another button. You're at 20K already. We haven't even started. 20K. Get a button. Sworn to secrecy. This is horrid. I don't like it. They have bypassed HR. They bypassed. It went straight up. They went straight to the top. That's funny. All right. Pixie says 4. Oh, all right, folks. With that being said, let's get into story time. Unfortunately, I know some of y'all will have to step away at this time. Carissa, my friend, until next time, I'm sorry. Thank you for coming and hanging out. I really do appreciate you. Until we see you again, keep posting them videos, love. Keep posting them. More Lego. Aha. She's made some funny edits too, y'all. If y'all haven't seen Carissa's edits, she's made some funny ones today. They're legit. Good. Yes. Just try to get one a day. That's all you got to do. Just try to do one a day. If you make 2, just post 1 and save it. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then just build up a little library. That way, if you need a day off, it's okay. But that way, just keep posting, girl. Just keep posting. You got it. We're going to support you. We're going to get you famous, too. Promise. It's going to happen. All right. Exactly. The Lego legend. Okay. All right, folks. Well, let's get started on tonight's adventures. Oh, her videos are great, dude. Oh, she's great. Between her and Emily, I'm telling you. Like, I need Emily to keep sending me those funny little trends because apparently my FYP and hers are not the same. That whole freaking I shit myself in the middle of Aldi. I went in from some Garibaldi. Like, that shit was hilarious. Like, I don't get like that kind of my timeline. So, anywho, all right, here we go. Let's back this up. There we go. It's such a small book. That's what she said. But wow, it started. What did I miss? Oh, you didn't see M's face? M was here earlier, but she said she was having a day, so she might not stay too long. She was having a rough one, so I was gonna check on her tomorrow and let her get some sleep tonight. I think it was just one of them days. I don't want to disturb her no more, but if somebody might want to just shoot her a quick message, maybe just be like, "Hey, make sure she okay." That would be cool, and then I'll hit her up tomorrow. I just, you know what I mean. But anywho, all right, we are Roots of Darkness. Roots of Darkness. This book, I tell you what, it started out. Wow. Okay. It's pretty interesting. I like how it started out. All right. Now, what is, okay, before we get into this, what is his name? What is his name? His name is Evan. Where did y'all put what? It's Evan. It's got to be Evan, right? Y'all said, somebody said, where Avend? Like legit Avid? Avid. I think I like Evan better, honestly. I'm not, I like, Avid. Yeah, I'll never remember Avid. It's going to be, I'm sorry, y'all. It's going to be Evan spelled their way. That's how we're going with. I'm sorry. I tried. We're going with Evan. I tried. I'll rack my head. We're going with Evan. And yeah, Henry's the only name that's stuck, right? Freaking, it's 25. Okay. God dang it. What button do you want? I got you. It's 25, and his name is Lafufu. What's his name? Luftar? His name is Ladusher or Lafufu? 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Mark and Evan. All right, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, voices that are with us. Welcome to Eyes Beyond the Stories and this rendition of Root of Darkness, chapters 6 through 10. All right. I think in the video I said Lafufu and Lafufi and Ladushi. I think those were the three names that he got. Lafufu, Lafufi, and Ladushi. I think those were the three. Okay, so we started out with Hecla. Excuse me. It's a week before the avalanche, and they let we're glitching. Oh, okay, hang on. Yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting. All right. Yeah, it looks like we're doing good now. I started to see that one. It looks like we dropped a little bit. Looks like it dropped a little bit on that one. Lafoofy. Okay, we're back. All right, Lafoofy. It's Lafoofy, right? We are back. We're back. Okay, Pixie's back. There we go. Everybody's coming back. Lafoofy. Lafoofy. All right. Lafoofy. Okay. Are we back now? I think we got everybody back. Is Em back? Is Em back? Is she back here? I see her name back on. I thought she was taking a break for the night. All right, let's get into this because y'all are clicking through these freaking hearts like a mofo. I got to get started. Like y'all are distracting me tonight. All right, I'm gonna wait. I'm just gonna go ahead and wait 30. Go ahead, Pixie. God dang, 30, and we're starting late. All right, 30K. We're starting at 30. All right, what do you got? She says 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, 50K. 50K will get you a full tour. 50K, you're at 30. Y'all can do it. Oh, yeah. All right, y'all can do it easy. All right, let's get into it. Roots of Darkness, Chapter 6. We'll make it 45. Y'all drop to 9. We'll make it 45K. Short chapters. I'll be nice. 45K. Here we go. Chapter 6. The Present Day. Ooh, okay. The yard behind the Hungry Blade was bright with the sun rising, the light catching golden leaves on the old tree beyond the fence. It was early for the leaves to turn, easy to forget. It had been long since the Blood Axe crew had celebrated the longest day. Hecla's chest clenched tight at the thought, and she forced her attention to the yard. The clash of steel vibrated the air. Hawkinson's men had paired off and were sparring. But Hecla's dismay, she failed to find Sigrun and Gunnar amongst them. With a long exhale, she tried to quell her disappointment. Gunnar had seemed more upbeat this morning. Sigrun, a pillar of stoic resilience. For a small moment, Hecla had felt the Blood Axe crew back at her side, and gods, but it had been such a relief. She straightened her spine and strolled amongst the warriors. They had good form, their movements crisp and laced with power. It was clear they were well trained, but as one warrior's arm caught the sunlight, Hecla shielded her eyes. Better put that armor to use, warrior, she said dryly. Get some scruff marks on it before you blind someone with it. The man and his opponent paused, 2 pairs of steely eyes slicing to her skin. She recognized one as the warrior who shared the bench at that day meal. He frowned, assessing her. I suppose you'd like to try, woman? Hecla let out a heavy sigh. As a woman in the mercenary crew, it went this way, and perhaps it was her good fortune she'd eventually insulted the largest warrior in Evan's routine. Because Hecla knew she'd have to make an example of him. The yard had quieted, and Hecla felt the whole of the routine watching her. Good, she now showed them how a woman fought. All that emotion had been channeled somewhere, but put a hand on her waist, popping a hip. Hecla, she told the man, batting her eyelashes. In your name, Blue Eyes? His eyes narrowed in clear suspicion. Thrang Longsword, Evan's second. Longsword, Hecla smirked, glancing at his groin. Trying to compensate for something, are you? Ha! He's got a micro penis, that's what she was saying. A chorus of incredulous laughter filled the air. The warm undertones of Thran's tawny complexion seemed to flush darker. He concealed the humiliation with the twirl of his sword. I'd challenge you to combat, but I don't fight women. He turned his back on her, a gesture of such disrespect it made Hecla's blood shimmer with rage. But she forced calm into her voice as she called out, or perhaps you're afraid you'll lose. She uttered those words more times than she cared to count, so Hecla was unsurprised when they had their desired effect. Slowly Thran turned, his blue eyes hard as shards of ice. The whole, crushed ice, got it. The whole of the yards watched the pair of them. There was no way Thrad could back away from this challenge now. "Come and say that to my face," he gritted out, and Hecla strolled toward the man, swaying her hips. "Oh, you about to get knocked the fuck out. Do I need to get Barlow over here?" Thrad widened his stance, his sword gripped tight, and skimmed her metal fingers beneath the warrior's jaw. A subtle click of a button on the underside of her prosthetic wrist, and her claws shot out, grazing through the tender skin of his throat. Through Jared's Though Thran's jaw tightened, the warrior held his ground in a way she respected. "I challenge you to combat, Thran Longsword." And with that, Hecla retracted her claws and sauntered back a few steps. Thran didn't take his gaze off her as nearby warriors retreated, creating a space around him and Hecla. She shook out her body and her blood flowing with vigor. Perhaps she truly needed all these days was a taste of shattered male ego. Yum. "It was so delicious after all. I accepted," said Thran, and with a scowl he glanced at his sparring partner uncertainly. But as his gaze landed back at Hecla, it hardened. "No shields, no blades, no claws." He nodded at her prosthetic hand. "Aw," said Hecla with the mock disappointment. "Don't tell me you're afraid of a little scratch, Longsword." She sighed. "Very well. I shall keep them sheathed." A nearly impeccable nod from the man, and then first blood wins. They squared off. First blood wins, like, it could be like one nose punch, like, bam, break a nose. All right, cool. They squared off, staring at one another, equal intensity. Hecla's muscles flinched with energy as she sank into her battle mist, a place where instinct and intelligence intertwined. She watched Thran's every blink, noted the way his enormous hands splay relentlessly at his sides. A whistle pierced the air, and then it was mayhem. Thran lunged with her with speed and strength, but Hecla saw them coming from a mile away. Sliding under his grip, she shoved her shoulder into the gut before spinning away. But the lout was quick and recovered, whirling on her in time to dodge her striking fist. Dodge her striking fist. Hecla lost herself to this dance, the careful balance of aggression and protection. She knew well enough how it felt to be on the receiving end of a blow of a man his size. Minutes ticked by. The pair circled one another as sweat dripped from their brows, and the crowd watched eagerly. Hecla knew she'd find no support amongst them, but that was all right. She was used to being the underdog. In fact, she thrived on it. What she couldn't stomach was the way Thrald held himself back. Was he truly so afraid of harming a woman? "Is that all you've got, Longsword?" taunted Hecla, wagging her little finger at him. Thran took the bait, throwing himself at her with a growl, but there was something about the pitch of his growl, paired with the sweet scent of decomposing leaves, that triggered a memory long buried in Hecla. Oh? For a heartbeat, she was sent back in time. A golden light streaming through the autumn lights, wood smoke and the smell of rua drifting through the windows and into the yard. Hecla had fresh eggs bundled in her apron dress as she made her way across the yard. The first light of the day was near blinding, and yet Rontha had not yet returned from the mead hall. Her husband's low growl was her only warning before Hecla was shoved from behind. She tripped and went sprawling. Eggs splattered beneath her. Hecla rolled and stared up at her husband. And there loomed Rontha in all his glory, his scowl telling her just how many solas he'd lost at the tables. He'd been looking for a scapegoat, so Hecla was unsurprised when her husband drew back his fist. "What the fuck? Hey, feel better, Em? Feel better, girl?" Stars burst in her vision, but it was Thran's fist that swung through the blow. Thran, who now ambled toward her, a conflicted look in his eyes, as Hecla blinked, trying to shake off the intrusive memory. Thran's burly arm wrapped around her neck and yanked her against his chest. "I do this as a favor to you," he growled in her ear. "You must learn that women have no place in a war band." His words yanked Hecla back into her body, anger and firing raging through her blood. Yield, he demanded with the scream. She drove her fist into Thran's groin, just as she trained Scylla to do all those times on the road of bones. The warriors let out a high-pitched wail. Pitiful male weakness, she grunted against his grip. Despite the agony, Thran had enough presence of mind to keep his arm wrapped around her neck. There's something you ought to have asked me, Thran, said Hecla, loud enough for all to hear. My full name. My blood axe name. She gathered all her energy, yanked Thran forward, then used all her momentum to ram her elbow into his ribs. The soft crack told her it had landed true. The warrior howled and Hecla wrenched free. She whirled on Thran and bent, doubled, clutching his side. They call me Rib Smasher. Woo! Hecla's a bad bitch, y'all! 37. Ooh, okay, close one. Okay. 37. Gotcha. All right, so you got one button for Hecla Rib Smasher. 13. All right. We're going to put it to 50K. That's 12K. Y'all should be able to get that. All right. Ooh, wait till you see the new button list worked on. I'm not saying nothing. Gotta find. Anyway, let's get to it. All right. 50K for the full button tour. Let's get into it. Chapter Yes, P. You can always ask a question, love. What's up? As she stalls. That's what she's doing. She's stalling. What you got? How did Nesta beat Bryce? How? By votes. It was, I think Bryce had 3. If I'm not mistaken, Bryce had 3 and Nesta was 7-3 on that one. It was 7-3. I believe so, yeah. Yep. And then it was Aelin and Nesta, and it was Aelin 9, Nesta 7. She said, okay, carry on. Hey, listen, I just run the brackets. I don't vote in the brackets. Don't talk to me. I'm just in charge. And yes, P, your vote. I will tell you what. I could tell when DW was voting proxy for you. I could tell when it was your vote and her vote. I could tell. I could definitely tell. I will say she was voting very fairly. All right. Let's get into it. Oh, y'all have earned another 2. You have earned another 2 things to put, on the wheel. You just got to let Liz know what you want to add to the wheel. You have gotten 2 for the wheel. I forgot to tell you. But yeah, Belle wasn't here either. She needed a mail. I tell you what, if Belle would have been able to be here, she was like, I would have voted for Aelin, and then Manon wouldn't have had that win. There's an updated one. We'll say that. We'll say there's an updated one. But we got to find it. Let's get into it. Let's get back into the story. Oh, hang on. TikTok just said it went wacky again. All right. Now it looks like it's okay. And it went away. Very, very crazy. All right. Here we go. Roots of Darkness, Chapter 7. Wind whipped across Hekla's cheeks, the rhythmic clop of hooves in her ears as her mount followed as much subdued Thrand along the road. The man was at a dramatic, hunched in his saddle and rubbing his side every 5 minutes. Hekla huffed a breath. It wasn't as though he'd suffered a death blow, although, as she considered it, perhaps it had been a death blow to his precious ego. Fuck his ego! You know what I'm saying? Evan had heard the commotion in the yard, exiting the meat hall just in time to witness Hekla putting Thrad in his place. To her surprise, Evan had thrown his head back and laughed before proclaiming he would buy the finest ale the hungry blade had to offer for whoever had bested his second in command. Okay. Hey, what's up, Sam? Welcome. As his gaze settled on Hekla, Evan quieted that look of surprise and discovering mingling the expression. But Connell was suddenly there as well. Who the fuck is the Connell? This dude is always up this mofo's ass. Like, what the fuck? Connell, remove your head from Evan's ass. Jesus was suddenly there as well, bellowing his displeasure and reminding Evan to get control of his warriors. Hekla had stayed long enough to hear Evan's reply. She'd accomplished what she'd set out to do this morning. After her display in the yard, Evan's routine knew she was not to be trifled with. Now they were en route to the Braxton Steeding, the site of the missed second attack. Sigrun rode silently at Hekla's left, the hood of her cloak drawn up despite the warmth of the sunshine. What do you think of the new leader? Signed Sigrun, glancing Evan's way. I think he's a Papa's arse, Hekla signed back. Yeah, as a Papa's arse whose sword you were sharpening, I'm just saying. Once I don't know, and I do not think his warriors are tried in battle. Sigrun signed wearily. For a moment, Hekla was desperate to know what's going on in her blood-axe sisters' minds. She could not forget Sigrun's face, ghostly white, in the moments following Elias's death. She fled into the woods and not returned until first light. And though she was here in body, it was clear Sigrun had not been here in mind since that horrible day. Damn. Are you, Hekla paused, searching for the right word to sign, comfortable around these new warriors? It was clunky and too forward for fiercely private Sigrun, but Hekla did not know how to ask in any other way. I'm fine, Sigrun signed briskly. Rebuked, Hekla forced her gaze straight ahead. She ought to have expected as much. Even after 5 years of fighting together, she still knew so little about Sigrun. But as the petite blonde warrior signed once again, Hekla turned back toward her. I hate this, signed Sigrun. Axe Eyes should be here. No beard. The wolf. Fuck him. Fuck the wolf. Fuck him. It is not the same without them. An ache built in Hekla's chest as she tried to rub it away. I do not like strangers, continued Sigrun, and Hekla had the vague realization that this was more than the woman had ever shared with her. How can I trust these men when I can't even communicate with them? A breath hissed between Hekla's teeth, and she felt like a fool. I'm sorry, Hekla signed. I will do better at staying nearby to interpret for them. Sigrun waved her hand in casual dismissal. I don't need you to fight my battles, she signed, then paused, though I thank you for the offer. Now it was Hekla's turn to sigh. She stared at the empty space to her right, the space where Gunnar should be riding. Gunnar will be all right, signed Sigrun, following her gaze. He only needs time. I told Hawkinson the Gunnar was ill, Hekla signed, her insides twisting. But I don't know how long he'll accept such excuses. She chewed her lip, pondering how she could help. What she could do or say to help Gunnar find his way back to himself. As the Braxton seating came into view, Hekla grounded her teeth together. She visited the farm countless times and examined each timber beam in the long house and each blade of straw in the bloody barn. Today would be an exercise in fealty. I will be patient, she muttered to herself. I will fall in line. Beside her, a chafing sound came from Sigrun. One Hekla knew, her blood-axe sister's laugh. Quiet you, she grumbled. I can do it. The sun shone pleasantly down on the clouds-fleckled skies across the farm. Everything was precisely as it had been the last time they'd visited. A vacant pen which had one house. Why can I not read tonight? What the hell? A vacant pen which had once housed sheep had overturned a cart which had been used to haul barley, and the Braxtons lived to see the harvest. Each time Hecla set foot on one of Vistry's farmsteads, nostalgia swirled within her like a crisp autumn leaves. If she squinted just right, she could see her father and brother toiling in the fields, her grandmother hanging wash on the line. That was before the sickness had stolen her father and grandmother, before her brother had married Hecla off to Rothan. Back then, she'd been a girl filled with dreams. Now she was a woman who'd seen too much. Hecla dismounted and shielded her eyes as she surveyed the Braxton's fields bordering the western woods. It was barley, and like all the other crops in Isildur these days, severely stunted. With a sigh, Hecla looked at her mare where Evan and his routine had secured their horses. The quiet banqueting in the farmstead and the skin prickled. No birds chirped in the surrounding trees. No insects buzzed in the grass. It had the feeling of nothing. After securing her horse, Hecla trailed Evan's mind into the longhouse. Cannell leaned against the wall, arms folded over his chest as he glowed in her direction. "Look your fill, Greybeard," she told her with his eyes, and when the man looked away first, Hecla's lips tilted up in a victory. But her smile fell as her gaze landed on Luffy's... that fucking guy. Lufufu's... But her smile fell as her gaze landed on Lufufu, standing near the hearth with his hand raised for silence. Conversation dead, and Istry's chieftain launched into the same drivel Hecla had endured for weeks already. She could not sit in this barren home listening to another moment of it. Heading to the privy, Hecla lied to Thran. The day meal does not sit well. Hecla tried not to roll her eyes in Thran's appalled expression. Such prim city warriors. With a sigh, she stalked out to the longhouse. Blood splattered everywhere. Lufufu was saying, his voice drifting through the windows, "As you can see, the claw marks make grooves too deeply to be of human origin." Hecla had just reached the privy when movement amid the stillness of the woods caught her eye. Under ordinary conditions, she would think nothing of it. A forest, after all, should be teeming with life. But not this forest. The hairs on her arms stood on end. I will be patient, she reminded herself, continuing her path towards the privy. But Hecla could not resist another glance towards the woods. There it was again, a small creature hopping into the underbrush. After weeks without any sign of life in or around these woods, curiosity bristled through her. Hecla threw a cautious look over her shoulder, then moved swiftly towards the trees. She would not enter the forest. She would only peer through the trees to identify the creature. As she neared, her pulse quickened. Her eyes strained as she searched the source of the movement. But long after a minute spent gazing into the shadows, Hecla decided it must have been a trick of her mind. With a sigh, she began to turn. And then she saw it. Carved in the crusted trunk of the pine, not 2 paces into the woods, was a symbol with a spiral of the center and 8 branching arms. There was no question of what it was. A spiral stave? Hecla murmured. Staring hard, it was the same symbol that had been scrawled in the blood on the Clanary's corpse in Istry's town square. A sigil that had once belonged to the Volsic bloodline. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Running a hand along her blade, Hecla glanced over her shoulder. The warriors were still in the longhouse, Lufufi still drowning on. Her gaze fell yet again to the forest. The knowing feeling rose deep inside her, the same feeling that told her the Lufufi was hiding something. The spiral stave was a clue to be followed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yet if she played by Evan's rules, she'd be forced to wait. Irritation churned in her stomach. Hecla cursed herself for promising Evan she would fall in line. Who would pay the price for the lengthy investigation? Innocent Istri citizens like Haldora and Undra, ale drinker, all while Lufufi, the bloody bird-witter. I love her fucking insults for him. Sat in his high seat and drank ale. Her decision was made. Hecla drew a deep breath and stepped into the woods. So much for playing by the rules. Bum, bum, bum. 46K. Close. You almost made it to 46. All right. So you get 2 buttons. You get 2 buttons and then... All right. Boop-be-doo, boop, boop-be-doo, ba, ba. You get 2 buttons, yes you do. Bottom, and then you almost get to put something on the wheel. All right. What do we got? She said 3 and 11. Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on the new and improved Minorian button. Enjoy. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. The new Minorian button. And that was number 11. Unfortunately, you also said button 3.
My name is Chode Barlow.
Womp, womp, womp. Well, the buttons have now been shuffled. They have been reset. Ooh, excuse me. Unfortunate. That happens. But you were rolling. I think you only had to find like 2 more. You only had like 2 more buttons to find, and then you would have had a clean sweep. Oh, you would have had a clean sweep. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that one was once again edited by Twisted Lists. All right, so let's get, okay, where are we at? You're at 47. All right, so you got to get to, let's see, that was 12, and you were pretty close to 12. So let's do another 12. We'll just put another 12. That'll be 50. We'll just put it at 60K. 60K. That's the closest nearest number. 60K for the, ow! Tiki Talk wants me to do a puzzle. Hang on. Live detected inactivity. What do you mean? Live has detected inactivity. Freaking audio. What do you mean no audio? You can see me talking with the microphone, but it says no audio. That is so... Now I can ask, what happens if you go then... If you go 100, we go, yay, you went 100. And... we give you a full tour, like a full. I froze several times. I can't help that I'm freezing. I'm sorry. It's got to be the Tiki Talkie because I only saw me have frame rates dropped 1 time. I don't know. Okay, so it's not okay. I'm about to say I know 1 time it looked like I might have had it, but. I mean, do you want you want to add? Still have to add something to the wheel. You've got 3 things. You've got 3 slots that y'all have to talk with Liz to add to the wheel because y'all don't have it full yet. For every 15K, we said you got to add something to the wheel, right? And you're at 48, so that would be 15, 33. 3. We got 3 things y'all gotta discuss while I'm reading, and Liz will add to it. And then when you get to 75, we spin it. Are we with me? So, So the wheel is originally the wheel's main goal is to do the TBR. I can do a little bit of breakdancing, yes, but you can't really see some stuff. I can make it like a little breakdance. Let's read a chapter. Ooh, that would be funny. That would be good try. I can do the worm. I can do the worm. I can do the worm. I can do a lot of dances. I can do the worm. I can do the hammer. I can do the kid and play. I can do the lawnmower. I can do all that goodness. So I can do it all. Liz reads in German. She gonna go up there and read in German. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, so y'all discuss it, figure it out. If y'all get to that 75K, you'll put it up there. Let's get into chapter 8, Roots of Darkness. Here we go. Chapter 8. 2 steps into the western woods, Hecla pulled her cloak tighter around her shoulders. The legend her grandmother had told her once had rang loudly in her ears, frightening and fascinating tale of mythical creatures, of scared grows and deep-rooted magic. Their only stories, Hecla murmured to herself, though her hand found the hilt of her sword all the same. Towering pines swayed above bare branches. Rowan's caw-caw! Vibrant red berries, the lone spot of color in these eerie woods. Sunlight slanted through the trees, catching on the lichen-covered branches. But the forest floor told a different story. Bone-dry moss and dead leaves crutched beneath Hecla's feet, while the corpse limbs of bracken ferns rasped eerily against the tree trunks. Ferns and shrubs, trees, saplings, and mushrooms, all of them were dead. The forest floor was a graveyard. Hecla peered at the sun-dappled pines burrows above. Whatever plagued the smaller plants clearly had not yet claimed the larger, harder trees. That's what she said. After one last glance back at the farmstead, she forced herself onward, weaving between the stems and tracking deeper into the woods. It did not take long for her to find the second spiral stave, carved into a trunk. Her body tingled with excitement. The only knowing feeling inside her only growing more certain. The path she walked led to answers. As she strode on, Hecla searched the darkness for any sign of the creature she spied at the edge of the woods, her hand never lifting the hilt of her sword. She listened for the telltale sound of the mist, the eerie muffled heartbeat. Yet it was though a blanket of silence had fallen upon them. And yet it was though a blanket of silence had fallen upon the forest. No birds, no small woodland creatures. Her gaze landed on the third spiral stave, and she pressed onward. The air grew thicker, tinged with the heavy earthen scent. In the depths of the woods, the pine trees dominated, their toothy needles clawing towards the sun. By the time Hecla spotted the 6th spiral stave, the forest was altogether gloomy. Then she heard the scrape of dead brush, bristled twigs snapping like bones. Hecla unsheathed her sword, widened her stance, and held herself absolutely still. As she stared into the thick brambles, she wondered if her mind was playing tricks on her. Then a whiskered nose peeked out from beneath the twitching brush. Squirrel! Hecla chafed in disbelief. Whew, burning fucking stars. She'd drawn her sword on a bloody squirrel. With a heavy exhale, she soldiered forward, eyes searching for the next spiral stave. By now, Evan would have discovered her absence, and Lafufi would be fuming. Hecla's stomach twinged with the hint of regret, but she'd come too far to turn back now. Besides, for the first time in weeks, she was doing something. Catfoot! The next spiral stave was carved in the recrusted trunk of the ancient pine, dry leaves scraped along the forest, and she whirled around. The squirrel was a few paces behind her, rustic tail twitching. Get out of here! Hecla waved her arm and frightened it off. But the squirrel stood its ground. No, kind of like this thing in my lap. You, just stand in your ground. All right, lay down at least. Hecla waved her arm, but the squirrel stood its ground. Would you stop with the cat butt? Thank you. Good googly moogly. I love you too. Okay. No. Hey. We're not only pausing tonight, okay? Hey, stop. Get out of here, Hecla waved, her arms frightened off. But the squirrel stood its ground, watching her with beady black eyes. With an irritated sigh, Hecla turned back to her task. The underbrush grew denser, sharp brambles gasping at her cloak and breeches. Finally, Hecla broke through into a clear. Girl, why are you biting me? I am petting you. Why do we do that? Every day we do this. It is a love-bite relationship. I love you, you bite me. How is this working out for us right now? It's not. Is it me or is it you? I think it's you, because I don't bite you. Okay, I won't touch you. We'll see what happens. Instead, the air lightened. The scent shifted from the arid pine needles of the sweet summer blossom. Hecla blinked at the soft emerald moss carpeting the clearing. Are you okay? Everything good? Oh, okay. Maybe she likes it rough. That's funny. Ooh, why was it not dead and brittle in the forest beyond? Indeed, compared to the gnarled gloom of the outer forest, this clearing had the sense of a refuge, an island of calm in the wild seas. In the center of the clearing stood an enormous tree, not a pine, nor a rowan. Caw-caw! Hecla had never seen anything like it. The tree's thick trunk twisted upward. A handful of yellowing leaves clinged to the long, curving branch. Her eyes traced along the tree's bark, and a jolt ran through her. Is this a tree or a man? Good Lord, another spiral stave. It wasn't carved like the others. It's never like the others. This one was twisted into the gnarled whorls of the trunk itself. Hecla's mind swirled with the unanswerable question. Who had killed the Clinari and scrawled the spiral staves in their blood? Hi. How we doing? Yeah. Had their arm been drawn to someone in the clearing all along? Despite the lack of answers, her skin buzzed with anticipation as she lifted her hand and gazed her fingers along the rough bark. Energy surged from her body, the mind flooding with 1,000 memories that were not of her own. Groves of elder trees and enormous, their branches scrapes in the clouds, their roots burrowed into the deepest depths of the earth. And the forest teeming with life, with birds, scarplings, frost foxes, and the flitta? What's a flitta? Glossy beetles marching over delicate mushroom caps, white and lichened, unfurling along the moonlight, and the forest-rich soil. Insects wiggled, life forms too small to see in the living eye's thrice. Delicate threads connected each plant in the forest, nourishment pulsing through them from elder sapling. She was slumbering on a bed of moss and lichen, her grim wolves all around her, thick gray coats rising and falling with each rhythmic breath. Yeah, baby girl. But beneath it all, a low, shrill sound crescendoed with each beat of her heart. Horror and anger, desperation thrashed through her. The cycle reversed. Nourishment stolen, sucked from the forest, an unending hunger, devouring all in its path. It was coming for her. It was coming for her too, eager to turn on her its cause. She had to protect herself at all costs, even if it meant going dormant to survive. The sound reached its apex, the blood-curdling screech that was the sound of nightmares, and at last Hecla understood. The scream was coming from the trees! We need the Lorax! We need the Lorax! Oh, my Lord! She stumbled back with a gasp. The woods swarmed back into the view, and Hecla clutched her hands against her chest, staring at the trees. She had lost her God's damn mind. But the feel of coarse wolf hair lingered on the fingertips, the despair, the rage still churning through her blood. The squirrel chattered from a branch of the strange tree, and Hecla leapt back, red tail twitching in agitation. It released another string of angry sounds. It was time to leave. Hecla turned on her heel just as his teeth... What are you doing? And turned on her heel just as the ground beneath her rumbled. You are... She filled with prickling awareness, swiftly followed by the sense being hunted. A low, steady thumping sound was distantly from in the woods. No, thought Hecla, desperate, clawing through her. That couldn't be. But the pulsing grew louder. Ow! And Hecla knew she was not imagining it. The mist was coming! Her hand moved to the hilt of her sword. Yet she knew there was no weapon to vanquish the foe. None had survived the mist's deadly embrace. Her only chance was to flee. Hecla drew her sword away and hacked at the brambles encircling the clearing, desperate to get back to the open forest so she could dig in her heels and run. The heartbeat rhythm picked up, and the beat was still distant, but the sound of it climbed up through her boots and vibrated in her bones. I'm coming for you, it seemed to say, ripping her cloak free from the form-sharp branches. Hecla burst out of the thicket, stumbling between the branches over the rocks. But she was in an open forest, and a number of hopes sparked to life. The battle thrill coursed through her veins, powering her limbs. She had to get out of these woods, had to get away from the mist, had to warn the others so they could get to safety. She passed a familiar stump, recognized a distant fork, row, and caw. But Hecla knew she was still too far from the Braxton steeding, that the pulsating beat grew too rapid. She cast a desperate look over her shoulder and immediately wished she hadn't. The thick white mist slithered between the tree stems with impossible speed, and in that moment she knew escaping this thing was not possible. Hecla had been one to run from death, and so she paused, turned to face it. Well met, she said, hefting her sword. The mist undulated in timing with a rapid heartbeat, sweeping closer. But Hecla held her ground, greeting her destiny, swung the blade, woof, woof, as the mist engulfed her. But it was much like being plunged underwater, only in reverse. She emerged from the deathly stillness of the woods in utter chaos. Discordant sounds assaulted her ears, while monstrous creatures danced around her. Inside the mist, the forest transformed into a place of devastation. Trees bald of lifelessness, moss gray and crisp. Beneath it all, a webwork of black fire was woven in the soil. The pulsating rhythm of the mist, the distant yet all around her, its anger growing faster with the beat. She could feel it permeating her senses, invading her throat, and seeping into her skin. It searched out tethers of her life force and free will, eager to break and reforge, to turn her to cause. Nausea overwhelming her, Hecla sank to her knees, all hope bleeding from her slowly. Nothing could save her from the mist. She was filling with too many emotions to count. Dismay that rather from protection of the Istries people. She'd only joined the ranks of the dead. The strange sense of emptiness she did not care to examine too closely. But too potent was all her gladness that she would leave this realm with sword in hand. She'd chosen this life and thus death. And with that, a curious sense of peace drowned out the chaos. But as Hecla readied herself for death, the snarl met her eyes, air blushing her face as a large figure leapt past her. Hecla blinked. It was an enormous grimwolf, its size rivaling a horse. Its sharp contrast in the dying forest all around. The wolf teemed with vitality, with light. The mist hissed with anger, repelled away from the beast form. The wolf turned, met Hecla's gaze with bright yellow eyes. Cover your ears, close your eyes, said the voice in her head. Dazed, Hecla obeyed. A thunderous sound filled the air all around her as lightning bright shock rippled down her spine. And then she knew no more. What the fuck is going on? We got magical light werewolf? What the fuck is happening? We got him. What the fuck is happening? What is going on right now? What? All right, where are we at? Okay, hang on. Oh, 59. So close. So close. Two buttons. Right, for 50, 55. Yes, two buttons. Ooh, okay. Where's Pixie? Yeah, she's back. She said she's back. I think she said she's back. I see her saying she's back. Yes. Baba Black Widow. Okay, that's a name. 5 and 13. 3, 4. A longer chapter. Got a little longer chapter on this one. All right, all right, all right. And then you're just gonna hit 60 now, aren't you? Oh, Q! I'm about to start chapter 9. I got burp again. Excuse me. All right, Pixie, go ahead and hit 60. And pick your number for 60. Let me know, and then we'll get started there. So you're gonna get 60. And go 75 because it's a longer chapter. Y'all are probably gonna get this one. Y'all should get this one right here. If y'all don't get this one right here, then 8. Then I don't know. Then I mean, there's not many of y'all here tonight. I'll give you that. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rowan never goes wrong. All right, let's get into it. Chapter 9. Here we go. Chapter 9. This one's a little longer. I have a feeling you're going to get a tour. Y'all should get a tour on this one. I have a feeling y'all can do it. And y'all are actually... Ooh, if y'all get the tour, not only do you get the tour, but you get a wheel spin, a tour, and a wheel spin. It's a double whammy. Come on, you can do it. Get the tappy, 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 tappy. Get them fingers working. Tappy, tappy. Y'all can do it. All right, here we go. Chapter 9. When Hekla's eyes fluttered open, she was certain she was dead. Yet if this was death, why did she feel like she'd been trampled by wild horses? She'd blinked to clear her vision, searching for the stars. Wasn't that what people believed? That she'd followed the mother star and settled amongst her ancestors? But as an evergreen canopy came into view, as her lungs filled with loamy air, an alarming thought filled her mind. Was she in the bear god's sacred forest? God, she hoped not. Hekla propped herself up on her elbows. Vision warping, she blinked. The squirrel lay motionless beside her. Oh. She bolted up and brushed a knuckle along the creature's side. The rodent's chest expanded with breath. Oh, here we go again. Cat butt! Cat butt! I love you too, girlfriend. Oh, she bolted up and brushed a knuckle along the creature's side. The rodent's chest expanded with breath, and relief filled her. A few more strokes of her knuckles, and the squirrel's eyes fluttered open. Hekla found her water skin and poured a small amount into the lid, holding the cap carefully next to the squirrel. She waited. The creature blinked at the water, then dipped its nose into the cap, those beady black eyes looking at Hekla as it drank. Slowly, Hekla's bearings came back to her. Brittle moss beneath her, evergreen swaying above her. She was cold beyond measures and utterly exhausted, but the mist was gone, and she was alive. Excuse me. It felt like a dream, and yet she was left with more questions than when she had entered the god's damned forest. The squirrel sat upright, and Hekla realized it had drained all of the water in the cap. She refilled it and watched the squirrel drink more. After a while, it had set back on its haunches, a bristly red tail twitching behind it. Protector is a very kind of kritka. Came a childlike protector is very kind to Krita. Came a child, like a Krita, like a critter, Like a childlike voice inside her mind. Krita banished the dark thing, but it took much strength. What? What? Hecla stared at the squirrel. The squirrel is fucking talk. Is this a talking squirrel? Wait a fucking what? Protector is very kind to Krita came a childlike voice. What? Krita banished the dark thing, but it took much strength. Hecla stared at the squirrel. The chill in her bones seemed to grow up with punishing throb at her temples. Surely she was dreaming. Struck with sudden wave of dizziness, Hecla laid back, resting her cheek on the brittle moss. God, she was cold, so very tired. The squirrel bounded into her line of vision. The dark thing will send its creature, said the voice. Protector must leave. Come back another day. Hecla wanted to laugh at this strange phantom vision, but she was too tired. She needed to close her eyes and rest for a moment. Hecla! Her eyes flew open in the time. The squirrel's russet tail vanished beneath the dead shrub. The chill of a trunk sunk its claws into her now. She curled into a ball, teeth chattering. Hecla wondered if she'd been so cold in life. What was it Scylla did? Think hearth fire thoughts? Hecla tried to imagine a hearth fire, tried to remember what it felt like to be warm, but she was wrung out. And though she thought of fright the most arduous battle in her life, and perhaps she discovered she deserved to sleep just for a while. Hecla! The voice cut through the silence like a great axe. It echoed, pulsing in her skull. The trees swayed back and forth, and a chill prickled through her. When the voice called again, Hecla rallied all the strength she could. Here, she called out. I'm here. A twig snapped, footsteps crunching on the moss. Then a figure with hazel eyes loomed over her. Foxy! She croaked. Evan crouched before her, a thunderous expression upon his stupid, beautiful face. Mulish woman, his expression shifted to concern. Where are you hurt? Those large hands, got them big old hands, ran along her body, searching for injuries. Hecla stared at him. Your eyes are like gemstones. Oh, my Lord, she's giving him compliments and she knocked out. That's, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Hecla, I'm going to need you to get your... Calm down, Hecla. Get control. God, you're burning up. The back of his hand pressed to her forehead and she nuzzled against it. You feel like hearth fire. A violent shiver racked her body as it felt like she'd never been warm in her life. Like she'd never be again. But this man had heated her through. Had made her trust, if only for a night. This fever, I must get you to a healer. The tree swayed as he hefted to her arms, cradling against the cheeks like the god's damned damsel in distress. His smell surrounded her, the planes of his chest solid against her cheek. Too close, too much. She couldn't, she wouldn't. You already did. No, she pushed against his chest, but his hold was ironclad. Let me walk. You cannot even stand, determined to be in pain and you cannot stand, determined to be a pain in my ass, aren't you, Lynx? Trees flew by, the foliage jostling above them. The man was running through the forest with the grown woman in his arms. Distantly, Hecla recognized this was an impressive feat. But the thought frittered away as the rest of them, and she was pressing her cheek into his tunic, sinking lower, lower. Stay with me, Lynx, she panted, and minutes bled together. Tell me what happened. Spiral staff, she mumbled. You must follow them. The mist, he said sharply. We heard the heartbeat. Tell me it didn't touch you. Thick white mist filled her mind's eye in the insatiable hunger impossible to forget. A moan slid from her lips, and she curled toward them, toward safety. No, not safety. She made her own safely. Hecla shuddered and tried again to escape the grasp. Stop squirming, woman. Tell me about the mist. Wolf, she managed. Squirrel, she thought, but did not have the strength to say it out loud. That voice rang in her ears once more. Krita banished the dark thing, but it took too much strength. Stay with me, Hecla. But the cold was absolute, a blanket of darkness settling all around her. Fight, Hecla, don't give in! It wasn't giving in when it was inevitable. It was destiny. When it was warmth, and she was very cold. God damn it, Lynx! And then she was gone. The what? The fuck? What? Oh, hell no. Y'all did not just hell motherfuck no. The skies were black and hell motherfuck no. The skies were black and moonless and the air held something feeling. The darkness was more and mere absent of light, and it was a living thing. Its heartbeat throbbing in the time of her own, or perhaps it was merely the drum beat filling in the air as Hecla walked through the Istri streets. She wove between rivers towards the town square. V-shaped pillars loomed before her, and she passed grappling warriors, playing their fighting games. The drums seemed to drive her movements. Forward she stepped. Onward she moved until she stood before the dais. The grand oak table had been set up on the dais, feast far spread upon it. Lafufi ruled from his high seat, Evan and Connell flanking him. The pulsing beat was like a hook in her belly, pulling Hecla up the stairs and into the chair beside Evan. A toast, bellowed Lufufu. Fucking God, what is happening? Lifting up his cup to the old gods. The crowd shouted their approval, and as Hecla drank her wine, her ears caught something above the din. A heartbeat. Hecla opened her mouth to warm them. But it was too late. Thick white mist slithered all around them, and its hunger filling the air, it darted forward, slid down Evan's throat. Hazel eyes bulged. She could hear the tear of muscle and sinew, the crack of bones. Evan had been broken before he could be remade. Forsaken, screamed Lafufu, climbing over the table. The old gods have forsaken us. But Hecla could not take her eyes from Evan. He thrashed and bellowed, clawed at his own skin. Evan drew a tremendous shuddering breath, then stilled. And when he turned to her, his eyes glowed like the rest of like the red embers of a fire. Wake, said a childlike voice. What the fuck is happening right now? What? Hecla woke with the grasp. Her heart pounded as though it tried to hack free from her chest. Horror and panic churning violently through her blood. But rather than the dark, forbidding canopy of a half-dead forest, her eyes met a sliver of daylight of timber beams. She followed the light to the covered windows, then to the small furry rodent perched on the ledge before it. The creature's tail twitched. You're awake! The fuck is going on? Even Timmy's like, what the fuck? Hecla's gaze swung to Gunnar, whose face was etched with pure relief, then back to the window. The ledge was empty. Hecla rubbed her eyes and took in her surrounding. Aged timber beams above her. Wolfskin furs draped over her. The faint smell of wood smoke and cooked food in the air. She was back in her chambers at the inn, with Gunnar and Sigrun hovering over her bed. What happened? Hecla winced at the throb in her temples as she tried to sit up. We might ask you the same, signed Sigrun. When Haxon carried you from the woods, you were unconscious and burning with fever. That explained her aching muscles and pulsating skulls. He brought you back to Istri on horse, put you to bed, fetched a healer, then kicked the healer out. He what? Sigrun glanced at Gunnar before signing. After a full day and night, the local healer said there was nothing he could do for you. Hawkinson was angered and set the second to fetch a new one. Hecla's inside rolled. And the new healer? Steeped a mushroom tea and used cloth to drip it into your mouth. Seagram's brown eyes held uncharacteristic emotions. Oh, I'm glad she's not allergic to mushrooms. I'm just saying. It was a long night, but your fever broke in the morning. She paused. I think they saved your life. Hecla let out a shaky exhale, pressing her fingers to her temples. Saved her life? Heck, Gunnar's voice cracked. We cannot lose you too. He leapt forward and pulled her into a forceful hug. Hecla blinked back in shock as Gunnar buried his face into her neck, incoherent words coming between the sobs. Hesitantly, Hecla patted his locks, meeting Sigrun's amused gaze over his shoulder. Gunnar and I have been talking. Sigrun's jaw hardened before her hands signed with swift, confident gestures. We've let everything fall on your shoulders. We haven't been there for you. We will do better, Hecla. We promise. Her words meant more than Hecla could say. The past few weeks have been so isolating. Perhaps it had made Hecla more impatient, more reckless than she'd ought to have been. Hecla nodded, trying to extract herself from Gunner's clutches, but the warrior did not seem inclined to let her go. Let me breathe, you oaf. Reluctantly, Gunner released her and battered a tear from his cheek. I thought you were gonna die. I survived far worse. I'll take more than a fever to bring me down, Fire Fist. Aye, but it will. Gunner looked at her fondly, a certain glimmer back in her eyes. Gods, but she was glad to see it. Glad to have them both in this room. Gather yourself, Gunner, Hecla teased. What would No Beard say? The words slipped out carelessly, and Hecla wished she could crawl back. Let them crawl back in. A silence filled the room, so heavy it felt like a tangible thing. Hecla's throat closed up, and in that moment she missed Elias as fiercely as the day they'd buried him. She closed her eyes, hating herself as she had 1,000 times before. Too loud, too forward, too much. As always. And now she tramples Gunner's fragile sense of peace. Hecla waited for the large warrior to fall to pieces, ready to herself to be strong for him, but to Gunner's surprise. I reckon, he said, Elias would tell me the uglier than my mother. I'm uglier than when my mother. Elias would tell me I'm uglier than my mother when I cry. There was a moment of silence, the peace following the waves crashing ashore. Then Hecla tossed her head back at Gunner and laughed. Gunner and Sigrun soon joined in. It was a strange, purifying laugh, one that felt like the first steps towards a new normal. It wouldn't be easy, wouldn't be the same as before, but this collective laugh promised it would be something. Wiping tears from her eyes, Hecla shook her head. That's exactly what he'd say. We're here now, Heck, said Gunner, his voice growing serious. We're in it with you. Hecla looked from Gunner wiping a snot on his sleeve to Sigrun dabbing discreetly on the corner of her eyes. The next time I get a grand plan in my head, she said, I'll come to you two first. Good, signed Sigrun. You need warriors you can trust at your back. Aye, but I do, muttered Hecla, and she drew a deep breath and then told them everything. Okay. 70. So, guys, close one. Good try. All right. You get 2 buttons. Critter. That's the squirrel, right? The squirrel's critter? It's gotta be. The squirrel's critter. Man, is Pixie still here? Oh, there she is. Okay, 2 and 12. 2.
I've always liked to play fire. I've always liked to play fire.
Talking squirrels. All right, it gets wilder. We're getting wilder. Like we're already pretty. I'm trying to, like the fog is pretty freaky. I'll tell you that right now. We got some freaky ass fog going on. All right, so we're at 70 on the last chapter. It's a 10-minute one. All right, we're going 80K. Y'all got this. 80K. Y'all can do it. I know you can. All right. Last chapter. Let's get to it. Oh, catch it. Oh, you weren't even close. Good try. A fog or smoke or something It's something. It's pretty crazy, though. I kind of want to know what happened. Like, they was in just, no, we'll figure it out, I'm sure. All right, here we go. Root of Darkness, Chapter 10. Hekla's nose wrinkled as she sipped the bitter mushroom tea. The healer, the second one, that was, had left a small satchel of withered brown stems along with directions to take it daily. Cup with the stuff of a full, to take a daily cup. Oh, okay, hang on. I can't read today. What is happening? Hang on. Okay, here we go. Along with the directions to take a daily cup of stuff for a full week after a fever had broken. And while a daily cup of tea was well and good, his instructions for a week of bed rest were quickly disregarded. She bathed and eaten a hearty bowl of stew, and after a glorious afternoon nap, she now tried to gather her energy. Leaning against her headboard, Hekla found herself staring at the window, searching for any trace of the phantom squirrel. She nearly laughed at the thought. Obviously, it had been a fever-induced vision. Now that the sun had set, sounds of laughter and revelry filled into her room. Hekla had spent 3 days and nights in slumber, which made this the 5th consecutive night of Winter Night's celebration. There were only 2 nights away from the penultimate feast. Excuse me. Ooh, now I got the freaking hiccups. Ooh. I gather Lufufi has continued his quest to drain Istria of all its winter provisions, she muttered to Sigrun, forcing another sip of the strange tea. They've been brawling and feasting each night, if that's what you're asking, sighed Sigrun with a scowl. Gods above, how can that man truly think the old gods will swoop in and save them? It seems like Hoxen is Lufufi's pocket, sighed Sigrun. Hecklin frowned. I cannot understand how Axe Eyes thought him suitable to lead this investigation. It's maddening. Sigurd and Gunnar nodded their agreement. They relayed their details with what had happened while she was sick. Apparently, Hawkinson had the foresight to have Thrud lure Lufufi away from the Baxton steading to keep him from learning that Hekla's blatant disregard for his orders. Okay. I respect that. Guilt twinged in her stomach, but as Sigrun updated her on the progress or lack of progression of the job, this feeling quickly dissolved. It seemed while Hekla was unconscious, everyone had examined the site of the third attack. Not once did they venture into the woods, nor had they searched the borderlands for the markings on the trees. According to Sigrun, Evan and his men were righteous participants of the Winter Night's celebrations, while Connell and Lufufi were content to lounge in their seats of honor. Evan in his routine participated in drinking competitions and arm wrestling matches with increasingly ridiculous sets of wagers. During one memorable loss, Alland ale drinker had to strip naked in the middle of the Hungry Blade and run down the Istri Central Road. During another, Thran had to drop to one knee before one of the old mothers and recite terrible poetry. Thank the gods the double black moon nears, Sigrun continued. The end of the celebrations cannot come soon enough. At mention of the double black moon, the hairs on Hekla's neck lifted. She couldn't help but think of the dream, of the mist seeping through the walls into the Istri, and while Hekla was not one to put weight on dreams, it felt like an ominous message. She forced herself to drain her cup. Whatever was in the tea, it was doing good work, enlivening her blood and melting her exhaustion away. Hekla pulled the furs from her lap, then placed her feet on the floor. After waiting a moment for the lights of her vision to clear, she gingerly stood. Sigrun watched her wearily. You should rest. I rested enough already. Besides, I can't hide away in bed. You know well enough how it is. Hekla didn't need to spell it out. The pair of them had the double disadvantage of being females and disabled. A single sign of weakness and respect they had managed to grasp themselves would be gone in an instant. Women like Hekla and Sigrun had to be perfect all the damn time. And in a moments like this, it was utterly exhausting. Sigrun's jaw hardened, but she nodded. After Hekla had dressed and twisted her prosthetic into the metal anchor, she and Sigrun made their way down to the Hungry Blade. The meat hall was packed to the brim, the walls of noise crashing upon them, and entered the candlelit gutter down from the iron chandeliers. Catching on the tapestry and weapons mounted on the walls, bodies jostled about, the yales sloshed, the dice clacked across the tables. Hekla caught sight of Haldora, a strained look on the barmaid's face as she scurried between warriors, refreshing their cups with the jug of ale. Her gaze fell into the high seats as she scowled. There sat Lufufi, clad in layers of silk, a crown of woven barley askewed in his head. Beside him, Connell rumbled with laughter before tossing back ale from a golden goblet. But a roar of the central long tail quickly diverted her attention. Hekla's scowl only deepened. Evan Harkinson's arm was wrapped around Thad's long sword shoulder. The pair eyes closed as they swayed and sung a broody tune. Tonight, the top of the sides of Evan's hair were collided into tight tracks woven into a set, larger braids spilling down his back and around his shoulders. She caught the sight of a pair crossing from Evan and blinked. Allendale Drinker danced with Aleph the Slender, who seemed to be wearing an apron dress. What in the internal fucking fires was going on here? The song ended, Alf the Slender taking a bow as those around him erupted into cheers and whistles. A rematch, he bellowed, climbing back onto the bench across the table. Evan was already throwing his braids over his shoulder, positioning his elbow to arm wrestle Alf. A barmaid slunk in behind Evan, slender fingers massaging his shoulders as she bent low and whispered in his ears. As though she sensed the impending storm, Sigrun tugged on Hekla's sleeve, then signed, I'll find us a seat while you talk to Hawkinson. Hekla nodded and fought her way through the mess of bodies before she could think twice. The moment Evan caught sight of Hekla, he shot to his feet, his expression morphing dazedly drunken to enraged. Evan stormed toward her, shoving a drunken warrior out of his way. Was he angry at her? Hekla's hands curled into a fist. By a large body collided with hers from the left. Had she been sound of mind, Hekla would have sensed it coming, would have easily dodged it, but the fever's lingering effects had left her off kilter. And she staggered sideways. Suddenly Evan was beside her. One arm slipped around her waist, the other deflecting the bulk of the warrior's momentum. Your bed calls to you, breasty, hairy cheeks. What the fuck? Evan told the culprit. After mumbling and nearby incoherent apologies, the man whom Hekla didn't recognize stumbled towards the meat hall's doorway. Wow. How is it that you already knew the names of the residents of this god's-forsaken place? Cat butt! Hekla grumbled, shaking herself loose from Evan. The mischievous glint was used to seeing. Evan's eyes was nowhere to be seen. What are you doing out of bed? He demanded. What? Hekla blinked, taken aback at how legible his words were. A moment ago she thought him drunk, but now it was clear he was completely sober. I'm fine, Hawkinson. You need to rest. You almost died. It's a miracle you're even alive. I know, right? For real, it's crazy. 'Twas only a fever. It wasn't a fever, you infernal woman. It was the bloody God's damn mist. Evan glanced over his shoulder. I cannot have Lafufi dissecting our every word from across the hall. Guiding her by the prosthetic elbow, he directed them back to the exit of the meat hall and the alcove linking them back to the inn. It took Hekla's eyes a moment to adjust to the darkness, but when they did, she was keenly aware of how small the space was. Have you investigated the staves? She could feel the glare despite the darkness. Rushing into those woods all by yourself, he said, ignoring her question altogether. Why would you do such a thing? I don't understand why you would risk yourself so recklessly. Her brows snapped together. But did the man understand nothing of what this job meant? You look better, he continued, his voice softening. Your cheeks have some color in them, but I see you're not quite steady on your feet yet. Did you drink the tea the healer left? Hekla blinked at the sudden change in direction. Staves, Harkson. Focus. Have you followed the spiral staves? Evan opened his mouth, then closed it. I gather that's a no. Never mind it. You can continue to cavort all about while Sigrun Gunnar and I. You will not go back to those woods. Evan raked his hand down his face, and the boyish gesture that once much to her chagrin dampened Hekla's anger just a touch. I cannot have you defying my orders. Our duty is to complete this job while honoring Lafufi. Our duty is to the people of Istri. Precisely. And it's a miracle I was able to keep your insolent act from fucking Lafufi. Next time, I might not be so fortunate. But Kano and some of my warriors, Evan laughed, though it was far from amused. Your defiance weakens me in my men's eyes. If I were anyone else, they'd be cast out from my routine. Hekla folded her arms over the chest, daring him to say what he was dancing around. But as a favor to you, Evan continued, I'll allow you a second. Ooh, I'll allow you a second? That was fucked. I'll allow you a second chance. The laugh fell from hers, was far from amused. A second chance? Exactly right, she repeated numbly. Of all the words you might have chosen. Hekla, Evan whispered, his hand sliding. Don't you bite? Would you stop biting me? No. Stop. Here. Lay down. Yeah, you went up there? There, lay down. All right. Hekla, okay, she repeated numbly in the words that were chosen. Hekla whispered, his hand sliding from beneath his elbow. The second seemed to meet her steady. For a moment, Hekla forgot, swayed towards him. Then her senses swam back, and she yanked her arm free. Evan blinked, as though he, too, had forgotten. He cleared his throat, but when he next spoke, his voice was still a little rough. Oh, come on. I can only give you one more chance, Hekla. If you disobey me again, I'll have you carted back to Copa. Her former husband's voice invaded her mind, his words still fresh despite the many years gone. I'll cart you back to the house, cuff you to the post. Then you'll learn not to disobey your husband. Hekla's anger erupted like a hot lava, angering to scorch and destroy. She pushed off the wall, brought her face level with Evan's. Try to car me anywhere, golden boy, and I'll tear your guts from your body. And with that, she spun on her heel, ignoring the stars dancing in her vision. Hekla stormed back into the mead hall in search of Sigrun. Wow. Okay. 85. You did it! You did it! You did it! You got the full tour on the last chapter. Let's go! Here we go. Oh, wow. Twelve buttons. That is so crazy, Belle. It is. You always get the ones that are over. It's so wild. I don't know. Exorcism. Oh, I can see it again now. Ooh, there we go. It's just, honestly, Bella, I think it's just making sure you're paying attention. Maybe that's what. I almost hit the chode button. All right. Longer. We got to make.
How bad can I be? I'm just doing what comes naturally.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just
Dude.
following my destiny. How
When they was talking about the trees and shit,
just doing what comes
did
naturally.
anybody not think of this damn song? How many people I was like, oh shit, we talking about the Lorax. Like, that was hilarious. You like to play fire. DW has been waiting on that one all night long.
Rune Danon, Crown Prince of the Valbaran
Carissa, yeah, you did get here for the end of the time. That's funny. You got a good time. He's always on time. Check the good. All right, folks. I think that's going to be it tonight. That's our 5 tonight. That way tomorrow, we're going to have some rainy weather tomorrow. So after I do chores, I'll just make the 5 videos and then I'm going to go ahead and read. We'll get another 5 in. That'll put us at 15. Wow. That will be, oh, we're having frame drop. Oh, yep. I see it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hang on. Yep. Yep, we're dropping. I think it's getting all gootity bootity. Even my baseball game's going. What is happening? Okay, hang on. Are we back now? Are we glitching out? I think, are we glitching? Unable, yeah. Oh no. Bum, 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 bum. All right, are we back yet? Oh, nope, let's see. Welcome, yeah. Oh no. I got a dinosaur, thank you, DW. think we're coming. Are we coming? Is the internet coming back yet? Are we still frozen? Are we still frozen? Are we coming? I think we're slowly coming back. I think we're coming back. Hey, Pixie. What's up? Yeah, I think we dropped some frame rates. Now we're okay. Yeah. I saw that one. I actually saw that one in my OBS. Yeah, I saw the frame rates drop on that one. Crazy madness. I wonder if it's. I don't know. We're having rain, so it might be. It might be the rain. It might be the rain doing this for us. I don't know. It's crazy. What are you doing, Saki Boo? All right, I got my girlfriend. There. Is that better? Is that better? Okay. There we go. All right. There. Are we good now? Are we good? Yeah. Are we good? Okay, so what was I saying? What was I saying before that went crazy? I wonder if it's TikTok. I think that one was me, honestly. Is everybody here? I think everybody's out. All right, well, with the way this is, we've had 2 freeze ups tonight, and the way this is going, and we did our 5 chapters, we're going to go ahead and we're going to end it here today. We are going to get the videos out tomorrow of what we read tonight, and then I will get another 5 read, and then join us Wednesday. We'll probably be finishing the book if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, folks, I want to thank everybody who was able to join us tonight. Wait, we need to spin the wheel. Is everybody still here? I want to spin the wheel. Spin. That's what I'm saying. We'll spin. It's not full, but you earned the wheel spin. You earned the wheel spin. Let's see. Let's see if you win something. Let's see if you win something. Let's see if we win something. All right, we'll bring it closer. All right, so. All right. We'll put it back here. All right, so this is what y'all got so far. All right, so far, I got to do a live when I'm out in the wild, which is really weird. I don't go out much, but I guess I got to go out. What else do we have? I got to dance. I got to do a dance. I got to give y'all a rundown in Crown Prince of the Valbar and Fae. And I've got to do a read in a funny voice for a whole chapter. Y'all got to pick the voice, and I gotta read that way. So anyway, y'all earned a spin tonight. We didn't get the wheel filled, but that's how we gonna do it. Okay, so here we go. Ready, spin. It's a good spinny wheel. That wheel spins pretty spinny well. I ain't gotta do nothing. So do I win? Did I win or did you win? Who wins when there's nothing there? I guess that means y'all gotta come up with more ideas, right? I don't understand what to do. I win, right? Like I win. I ain't gotta do anything crazy. I'm the winner. There you go. I got lucky this time. Exactly. That was funny. I like it. Okay. So, I like it. I win this time. All right. So next time, keep going. We will add more. We will add more things. Sock, you just, oh my Lord. Okay, now you want to go down. Anyway, that's what's going crazy. Anyway, there we are. That'll happen. We'll be back Wednesday. Join us. Oh, she's new option.
I saw that.
Saw what?
That respin.
That was the second spin, though. They only got one spin. It landed on nothing.
Nope, it landed on something the second time.
But the second spin didn't count.
Still landed on something.
It still landed on something. Maybe I'll do a live in the wild tomorrow. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyway, folks, join us Wednesday when we continue the adventure of Roots of Darkness. Help put things on the wheel. Come out here, quickie on some hearts, get